Do you know how mad I would have been if I didn't use PTO on the Rapture?
Absolutely. See, that's what the people heard when the Rapture came.
I wish Lord of the Rings would do something similar to Hogwarts Legacy, like have your own build to do all that and go into it with your own way of attacking their lore and systems and stuff like that. But
I always laugh at this, bro. I was not allowed to read Harry Potter.
all right, you're getting a lot off your chest right now. I want y'all to know I did not ask him to do this.
Hey, welcome back to episode 13 of the Porchlight Theory, where we have unfiltered.
13.
We have unfiltered
They say that number's
conversations.
unlucky.
It's lucky for us, though. We're good.
It will be.
It will be. Here we have unfiltered conversations, but it is necessary. I'm Tristan, and the coldest brother. The coolest.
There we go.
The coldest is actually a football player. The coolest brother.
The
Nick,
coldest Crawford.
Yeah. The coolest brother Nick is in the room with me right now. Nick, how you doing, bro?
I'm blessed, my brother. How you doing?
I am good. I'm glad that you're here because you did not get raptured.
I heard so much about that, and I'm curious, brother. Please tell me about that. I have no idea about this whole. I didn't know that there was supposed to be a rapture.
I didn't know that there was supposed to be a rapture either. So can you imagine clocking into work and everybody's gone from their 9
Can
to
you
5?
picture the fact that if you would have clocked in and the rapture happened? Do you know how mad I would have been if I didn't use PTO on the rapture? Like,
Can you imagine that
like,
one manager still there?
You know that's a no call, no show.
So is your out of office on?
This will be considered using PTO.
We will have to put you on a PIP after this.
You're not using our health insurance. You'll be back on Cobra.
But you step into the room.
Okay, that was a good one.
It's like you step into the room. It's like, hey, everybody, happy Monday. Hello? Hello?
As I can say, we've been adding to the soundboard.
This is my favorite piece of the soundboard. I can't wait to use this later on.
He's just gonna find a way to splash that in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, that's what the people heard when the Rapture came. That's what everyone heard. So when you saw the shirts and the pants and the shoes was lying all over the floor.
Bro, I saw this one video. They were all like standing in a forest or the woods or something, and they're just all looking up. And this is not to bash anyone's faith by no means, because obviously we both are religious observing individuals. But the fact that I know someone preyed upon the susceptibility, but also the gullibleness of certain older demographics, that is kind of sad though, because we all do know that older part of the family that is very religious, very faith-based, and I'm pretty sure there is a good sector that truly believe this from their heart. And that goes back to what we were talking about with the anti-intellectual movement. The fact that there's so much misinformation that can be perpetuated online so easily. Like, I'm a sports fan, so of course I'm tied into a lot of sports algorithms and sports focused topics. The fact that it's so easy to just go on there and lie and no repercussions. Like, yes, I love the idea of free speech and things of that nature, but to the extent that it is not our own, I don't know.
Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence.
Yes.
Absolutely. I actually have an article about this rapture that was supposed to happen a couple of days ago. Let me share the screen real quick.
The end is near. That's what one corner of TikTok is claiming.
My fellow Christians out there, I want this video to help one another.
It's being called Rapture Talk, a convinced contingent of TikTok users who claim the rapture is happening today.
Are we not scared?
It all started with the South African preacher who posted this podcast in June.
God took me to see the future, and then he brought me back.
He claims Jesus appeared to him in a vision, telling him he would return to Earth on September 23rd and 24th, dates coinciding with the Jewish holiday Rosh Hashanah.
Millions of Christians all around the world, including South Africa, will disappear in a split second.
It's a concept that's been explored on TV and in movies for years, from This Is the End to The Leftovers. But now some followers are convinced the worthy will ascend to heaven while the rest face judgment on earth.
Our salvation is in Christ alone.
Some even claiming to be selling all their possessions. One man says he got rid of his car.
I'm catching a flight.
That is so wild.
Anyway. Oh, I need the car.
And while others are less convinced,
since this is the Rapture Eve, there's no, calories aren't going to matter anymore.
Some experts say this kind of end-time thinking isn't as bizarre as it sounds.
Calories
Dr.
are not going to
Deborah
matter
Kissel tells
anymore. It's
Forbes,
wild.
Apocalyptic predictions often emerge during periods of social upheaval, economic instability, or global crisis.
Hello.
And psychologists say doomsday predictions are not new because of social media now. They are just spreading faster. But in that story, it's hard to tell who's serious and who's just playing along with this.
And you hope that those people who sold their car can maybe get it back if the world doesn't end.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Can you picture that if you basically sold your life, your car, quit your job, gave away all your worldly possessions just for the world to keep on going, and then you're just sitting there the next day I just donated my entire estate to this one charity. Would they be mad if I asked for that back? Probably.
I just gave my dog away. Oh my gosh.
Can I ask for it back?
Yeah, I done gave that homeless man the last $5,000 out of my bank account.
So I did see that there were some reactors that were like, "Hey, what happened to all these people that were talking about the rapture?"
Mm-hmm.
And they just weren't posting anymore. So did it happen to them? So where are you guys at now? I want to see some reactions from the people that were hardcore pushing it, because it's not even just to be antagonistic or pointing the finger at ha moment. It's just just curious as someone who was completely oblivious to this whole thing. I got off of work and got done studying and all that, and was like, oh, something was supposed to happen. Wish I would have took off work.
Yeah. The fact that I found out about the rapture the day before, that was lame. If it were to happen,
y'all suck as far as notifying people.
Absolutely.
What y'all have worldwide cataclysmic events happening, and you're like, we'll let them know a week before. It's fine. They'll be all right.
But now the algorithm wants to tell me. Sure, thank you.
They can add it to their Outlook later.
Just one thing in the video before we continue about this topic that the reporter mentioned, which was how this is not the first time that rapture conversations have happened. This usually happens during times of economic turmoil and whatnot. Global issues. Hello is happening right now. I mean, just look at 2012, Y2K. Some could even argue 2016 when the first Trump administration happened.
Yeah. Or what was it? 2012, that whole 2012 thing.
2012. Or what was it when June 6, 2006? I remember that one. So there's been a lot of there's been a lot of times when the rapture was supposed to happen. But
do you feel like access to the internet has exacerbated conspiracy theories?
Absolutely, because there's no checks and balances. I mean, for the longest we didn't have fact checking. To someone. Well, we did have fact checking, but we didn't have someone to immediately point it out to the masses and just let folks know, hey, this is not true. This is not verifiable.
That's the problem.
This is going back to what we said in our previous episode, where we have people who grew up with the internet and now they have people are going to be born into AI. It should behoove us to make sure that folks know how to properly use the internet, because while it can be a tool of education, at the same time, it is a tool of mis and disinformation. There are bad actors out there on the internet who find joy in the chaos.
Yeah, it's sowing the seeds of disinformation and misinformation is, I think, very much a purposeful thing. By no means is it just they're just doing it just to disrupt and be chaotic. There is that to a certain extent, but I believe there are more malicious intents to it to be able to kind of dissuade people from utilizing true logic and intellect to really understand situations, be aware of how to properly identify and categorize what they are perceiving in life. Like, if you can do that, if you can disrupt what people truly believe are facts, and we kind of alluded to it in prior episodes where we say where we're not debating facts with people when it comes to certain conversations that we're willing to engage in. I think that people want to start distorting facts to a certain extent to where they are able to hop into certain conversations and get into certain spaces that they were typically not allowed in. I liken it to I love certain internet drama, and if you know me, you know I don't like flat earthers. So Professor Dave and Lord Jamar have been on this funny back and forth for quite some time, and Lord Jamar went on to Vlad TV, and Vlad's brought it up that he had said that Eminem is a guest in the house of hip hop. And then people pushed back on Jamar saying that, well, since you are on this flat earther thing and trying to prove all of it, are you technically not a guest in the house of science? And he tried to jump around that, like, you know, I may be a guest in the house of science, but not scientism, because, you know, this is what they teach. And it's just, you know, the whole Dunning-Kruger thing with flat earthers. It's a terrible thing. But yeah, I say all that to say that, yes, I do believe that there is malicious intent behind misinformation.
You brought up something earlier about the people who were so knee deep into this thing about the rapture and whatnot. And, you know, as life goes on, when September 24th and 5th, and here we are recording this on the 27th, life has continued and now they're feeling embarrassed. And I don't think, yes, we can, you know, poke fun of it and laugh at it temporarily, but I hope that this can be a learning opportunity for those who subscribe to that channel of religion and then ask themselves critical questions about what they're believing in, and then seek guidance or a counselor or a religious counselor to explore the world of religion. If you want to continue into Christianity or whatever you want to believe, it shouldn't be something to be embarrassed about. It should be something that you should embrace. You should question. You should say, okay, well, I was obviously wrong. But this is something that I believed in, and you should ask yourself why. And then that's when you can go further in and deeper down into this conversation and realize, you know, what you're trying to accomplish religiously. It's a learning opportunity. I look at it as an opportunity to dive more into religion if you are curious. But only dive in if you know, with an open mind and an open heart. Because religion nowadays has seemed to have a chokehold on people.
It's
Goodness
had
gracious.
for a while though.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I can recall you the times where religion has impacted my family. I remember having a conversation with one of my sisters, about, you know, dating and whatnot, and she said to me, you know, she was like, she felt like she couldn't date outside of her religion, because of our, you know, our Christian faith. You know, what if she fell in love with a Muslim man? You know what I'm saying? And there was something that I juggled with as well. I mean, if it's okay to date outside your race, how come we can't date outside of our religion? You know, if we're, you know, striving for a, you know, a diverse environment and whatnot.
It also depends upon your family background, your socioeconomic background, where you grew up, your region. Like, there's so many factors that play into that, because that's why I said, because a lot of, like, with my family dynamic and other parts of it, it's more so a date outside your race conversation outside of a date outside your religion conversation. like just seeing that from different both views, because we're very similar in who we are as people, but of course we have different backgrounds and things of that nature, but yet we've came to be similar people in how we act and who we are and how we think. I'll say most conversations are typically around dating outside of your race, not dating outside of your religion. So that conversation is interesting, I'll say.
Another aspect of religion, reflecting now as an adult, is how it has controlled what I can and cannot consume. Biggest example I can give you is Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? So
whoa, tread lightly, sir.
This is not something for me to tread lightly on. I'm stepping in it 10 toes down, because if a religious person who's knee deep in Christianity and they don't see what's happening in the outside world, and they see what all the kids are enjoying, which is back then at the time was Pokemon, it was demonic. So whatever a Christian did not understand, it was demonic.
I see where you're coming from.
Yes, it was demonic. And so there was a time when Pokemon in my household was, it wasn't. It wasn't for the Hardy household. Let's just say that
it wasn't favored at the time.
Yeah, religiously was not favored. And I remember as a kid, I tell my mom this story, and she gets a crack at it every time. And I say this was nothing but Christian propaganda. I remember receiving a book about Pokemon and about how how it impacts the spirit and whatnot as a child. The content in the book, I don't remember it whatsoever. But what I do remember, what was in that book, is at the very end, there was like the original 150 Pokemon and then some. And then it gave you what type of Pokemon it was. And then it would share like, hey, this Pokemon will level up to this at level 15. So
the Pokemon guidebook.
I ended up using that Christian book as a Pokemon guidebook. Oh, so if I catch this Pokemon, then it's going to evolve at level 25.
Wait a minute. All I just heard right there is they got around copyright laws by saying that as a religious text, we're just going to say this is why you shouldn't read it because this is what you got. That is wild. They resold the Pokemon guidebook as a religious text.
Essentially.
That is crazy.
Yeah. My mom, she chuckles at it every time I tell the story.
Because you just described that to me, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the guidebook you use that's basically the pamphlet in Pokemon Yellow, Blue, Red, and all that.
Yeah. Pokemon. What's another one? Yu-Gi-Oh! Goodness gracious.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a problem.
Goodness gracious. Hey, I'm going to take off the religious aspect right now and just put it in for, in a black cultural aspect. And you know how Yu-Gi-Oh! Has these demonic looking characters. And so as soon as something looks demonic, or if they say it's demonic, black folks, they just shut it off. Click. No. Demon. Hell no. Absolutely not. And so I remember I had the coolest Pokemon deck. It consisted of dragons, swordsmen, and spellcasters. And I remember having like
trash.
It was themed. It was themed. Well, I remember having certain cards that are considered illegal in the Pokemon world. Not Pokemon, in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World nowadays. I specifically had a Jinzo card. I had a Jinzo holographic too.
I remember you had this. You're talking about back in middle school.
Nowhere to be found to this day. Nowhere to be found. It was
confiscated. I remember you had that one.
Parents have never given it back to me.
Hey, nope.
Oh, what do you want to say? Stand on it. Stand on it.
Nope.
Stand on it.
Nope.
What are we going to say?
We need that card back, bro. That card
is valuable.
That card is worth some money. You
that
need
card
that
is
card
valuable.
back.
But they didn't understand. And here's another thing.
Please bring the card back.
Here's another thing that parents would do that will just irk my nerves. If you know what your child is enjoying, or if this is what they're into, please say the name properly. It's almost as if you are trying to irk the hell out of your child. So if you see your son playing Pokemon, don't go around calling it Pokemon. I know it's semantics. I know it's
They did that on purpose.
They do it on
parents.
They do it on purpose. I swear they do it on
I truly
purpose.
feel like they used to do that on purpose.
Or like every time I enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh, like when I was collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, my dad would call it Yugi Hoogie when he wanted to lecture me about something. And it's like, Dad, I know you see. I know you see Yu-Gi-Oh, and you hear your son saying Yu-Gi-Oh. So why are you calling it Yugi Hoogie?
They had a whole theme song that pronounced the name.
Hello?
Every single anime that we used to watch that they thought was demonic said its name in the intro. You know what it was.
I swear parents will just do things to irk the hell out of a child when it comes to something that they enjoy.
It's that belittling stuff that they love to do. Like, oh, you and your little friend. Oh, and your little... It's a version of that.
I'm not one of your little friends.
Part of the old generation that has to somehow minimize what you feel may be big to a certain extent. This is us not talking about our parents. Please do not think that we are talking about y'all. But this is their version of doing that. Yes, but this is. You know, I don't even need to be that passionate about that.
No. It's okay to be passionate about it.
It's fine.
It is okay to be passionate about it.
Fine. It's fine.
Don't suppress that, bro. Don't suppress it. Because let's be real, that is irritating as a child. I will not do that to my kid. If I see my kid enjoying something that they like, you know, they're a big fan of, I'm not going to minimize it by disrupting the name of what it's called. I know it's like one of the little things, but sometimes it is the little things that
is wild though, because it's like, you know, you and your little boyfriend, you and your little girlfriend, you and your little this, and it's like, bruh, not everything. Wrong words. Nope.
I say this as a critique, you know, as an adult now looking back at my childhood. So, but that it's almost as if like it's a rite of passage or something. Like maybe grandma did it to them. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask them.
I'm not willing to say that. I'm not willing to say it, but you know, someone will.
Somebody might. But putting the religious lens back on the conversation, if it's something that they did not understand or did not want to take the time to understand, it was automatically labeled demonic. Here's another good example, and I always laugh at this, bro. I was not allowed to read Harry Potter.
Are you getting a lot off your chest right now? I want y'all to know I did not ask him to do this.
No, it's okay. I think it is okay for our listeners and viewers to at least connect with us in some type of way. And I think, you know, growing up in a Black religious household, this is one way they can. But I wasn't allowed to read the Harry Potter books growing up. But my dad is a big fan of the Harry Potter series. He enjoyed those movies.
Wild.
It's wild.
It's
wild. He enjoyed the Lord of the Rings, which had orcs and wizards. Okay, he was cool with that. But I couldn't read Harry Potter.
I mean, maybe they felt at that age you did not have the emotional intelligence to deal with the subject matter of whatever it is. Because all I know Harry Potter for is Harry Potter. I've watched like 2 of the movies, and that's about it. I played Hogwarts Legacy like the first few chapters.
Game.
I haven't. I honestly should take some time to sit there and actually play
fun.
It is a fun game. Because I don't get the lore like that, I'm not really that invested, I guess.
It's because it's not anything Harry Potter related. So it's its own standalone story.
Which I like, because it's a good entry into the series. And I wish Lord of the Rings would do something similar to Hogwarts Legacy, like have your own build to do all that and go into it with your own way of attacking their lore and systems and stuff like that. But that's a topic for another day when we get into our gaming corner stuff.
You probably planted the seed just now, so hopefully if someone...
They didn't plant no seeds. They've heard all this stuff. There's nothing new under the sun. These gaming companies know exactly what we want, and they don't care.
Take it easy.
I don't care. I'm paying $80 a game now. I should be able to have some input on what I have to get. Like, sheesh. I got that Nintendo Switch 2 over there, and got these. I'm waiting on Pokemon ZA to come out, and It's going to cost an arm and a leg, and it better be good. It looks good. I actually am super excited for it because I'm a Pokemon fan. But still, it better be good.
Real quick, since we just touched on the topic of gaming, what is one game that you want to see come back or remaster or something?
So, for everyone that doesn't know, Tristan and I are huge original Xbox fans. So, both of our answers are always going to automatically be one of the two: Knights of the Old Republic or Jade Empire.
Oh
it's
my
gonna be
gosh!
one of those two.
Yes,
it would either be one of those two. But if it's not one of those two, for me, well, it's continue to go. I think I saw something about it coming out. If you don't know me, I'm a nerd, but I love Kingdom Hearts with a passion. I'm about to go get I'm getting all the Keyblades. Don't worry about it.
I enjoy the lore of Kingdom Hearts, and
do you really?
It's so confusing.
Really? Thank you. I was about to say it is one of the most confusing. Timelines,
any story that's confusing or it has me like raising my eyebrows, I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. But yeah, I've been waiting for more than a decade about Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, and I thought there was hope when they came out with Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. But it wasn't a RPG. It was an MMO. We're not. BioWare doesn't want that money. BioWare don't want my money.
I'm just gonna tell you, we're not gonna get it.
BioWare don't want the money.
If I had to,
they gave us Mass Effect, bro. But you can't give me Knights of the Old Republic or Jade Empire.
Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't that good to me.
I didn't even finish it.
You were trying. I want y'all to know he was trying to sell me on that game hard, and I knew it wasn't going to be good.
I couldn't finish it, bro. I couldn't finish it. I thought it had remnants of Mass Effect 1 in there, but I just could not finish it.
And that's the bad part. It had the bad parts of Mass Effect 1 in it.
I didn't like it.
The empty expanse, open world exploration that just leads to nothing. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
I'm sure the story is good. I'll revisit the game one day. Eventually.
No, you won't.
Eventually. I'm still working on Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that game came out months ago.
Why?
I'm an adult. I fall on and off, on video games, and that's so sad.
But if you're going to invest your time in stuff, that's why as an adult you have to invest your time in good games. And Assassin's Creed Shadow is a mid game. You might as well just go ahead and get
Shadows
PS5.
Is not a mid game.
Get Ghost of Tsushima's Yote, and you will play both Ghost of Tsushima's, and you will enjoy.
That means I got to get a PS5 for Yote. I don't have a PS5, and nor do I have PS5 money. And guess what? Didn't gaming console prices increase because of this current administration and all these tariffs and whatnot?
So what we gonna do
in this economy?
We're gonna have a conversation offline. But there's ways to play Ghost of Tsushima without having a PlayStation. But if I had to bring back a series, which they're already kind of doing it because they had like this weird spinoff, but I want Jet Set Radio Future back.
It is coming back.
Go to the internet.
Take your time.
I had some bad words to say right there. It's confirmed in development. It's expected to be a hybrid of the original Jet Set Radio and Jet Set Radio Future. That's not giving me a timeline.
Just know it's just being worked on, though.
We are gamers. We used to tune into E3 religiously.
Classic.
We would be on G4 TV like that. I don't want to hear anything about coming soon when it comes to gaming. You know good and well, whenever they say that, there is still chances for it to either get canceled or pushed back to the time that we're 40.
You know, that one game, Star Wars 1313, that was supposed to be the game. That was supposed to be my game.
It basically was going to be Uncharted and Star Wars combined.
God, that would have been a good game.
It would have been Star Wars Uncharted. That's basically what it would have been. And I would have been okay with that. Just take the Uncharted formula and just put our favorite themes over that. Like our favorite action. Indiana Jones would work on that. Star Wars would work on that.
The storytelling would have been amazing.
What other type of action where the guy's like an explorer, uses a gun seldomly and just jumps around and all that? Like so many, it works for so many. It could be a John Wick video game like that. Like it works. James Bond, the new James Bond game that's coming out looks like Uncharted.
It looks promising. Absolutely.
Yeah, so the model works for the IPs that are already out there. Just partner with Naughty Dog and them and use their mechanics and boom. And then add the Unreal 5 engine and boom. Amazing graphics, amazing physics, and a tried and proven game. I think people are tired of the games as a service model, and it's okay to sell a game that you can't monetize to death. It's okay to sell a game that you're going to make a certain amount of money off of. It's okay to make a single player experience. Like, why do
everything needs to have a microtransaction?
Not everything needs to be an endless game. Like, I think that's what the issue is. They don't want you to basically ever put that game down until the next game comes out. And that's the issue.
Fortnite, 2K. My 2K fans out there, y'all getting scammed.
Hear me out.
My 2K brothers and sisters, y'all are getting scammed. I feel like y'all are.
I don't play Fortnite, but I can appreciate Fortnite for the model that it's used to sustain itself.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good model. I will give it that because it's free to play, but the fact that they listen to their fan base, but also they are willing to adapt. They are bringing in the random
Any and
skins
everything
and all that. It's like
Master Chief teaming up with Itachi.
They have a whole Megazord compilation where it'll come in, and then now they are fighting like a kaiju in the middle of it. Like it's I can't be mad at it.
It's what you're bringing in new fans.
It works.
Yeah,
it literally works. It's it's revitalized certain like IPs that we thought were dead, that we were just based off nostalgia. So it's not. I do appreciate Fortnite for what it has contributed to the overall zeitgeist of America's, pop culture.
Games like Fortnite is probably what is used nowadays for parents to call demonic.
I would say it would be more akin to the Labubu stuff.
Ooh, yeah, most definitely. What?
I can't stand those things. They're ugly as can be.
You say you want a Labubu? The only boo-boo I know, and he's a fool. And we ain't bringing no boo-boo in this house.
So what is the hype behind those? I've never understood it.
New generation Beanie Baby? I don't know. The kids like it. Let them enjoy it. Because watch, when we have kids later on in life, we're going to be like, what is it that you like?
Why do you keep trying to put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby?
What?
You said when we have kids.
You don't plan on it?
If it happens, it happens.
Oh, okay.
But by no means am I sitting here like, yeah, when them kids come.
I didn't mean to disrespect your agency, bro. My bad.
Man, I see how much kids cost. I see how much the insurance costs for kids. I see how much they cost just to take them to school, how much you lose sleep, how much you have to put into them, especially at this age that we are at right now. You want me to invest my whole life and time into these people?
I'm sorry, bro.
You, Tristan party may want to do that.
I'm definitely going to blurt that out.
But Nicholas, you said we. You said, this man said we. I want y'all to know, this man really said we. This man don't speak no French. This man said we. This man really said, hold on, y'all. Hold up. We. This nigga speaking French.
You look like you got that out your system. You good?
Mm-hmm. Cause it's in the air. It's in the air. I see all y'all popping off these mammograms and all that, and sonograms, whatever it's called. Yeah, the picture is showing
that squeezing titty. All right.
Well, breast cancer awareness breast cancer awareness month is coming up, so yeah, be aware.
There you go.
But yes,
check your titties, ladies.
Wow. But yes. And we got canceled.
We'll be all right. Can you imagine that one person getting a mammogram and then the person that's conducting the machine gets raptured?
Can you picture being in the MRI machine and the operator is just
raptured,
gets raptured up, and you're just stuck there, just
hello.
Am I allowed to move? I really have
Somebody
to
help.
pee.
He says, "So I have to be. I have to pee.
I've been here for 2 hours. The machine's not even going anymore.
I feel my hair falling out.
I think the lights are off. Everybody's clocked out, so I still be." There's yelling outside.
Oh, Anita Baker's still here.
All right, I'm done. All right, I'm done. Ugh. Y'all have a good night. Y'all not about to spit terrible misgivings on my queen, Anita Baker.
So another topic I do want to talk to you about is, did you hear about what happened recently with some debate bros going to an HBCU, specifically Tennessee State University, and they pretty much got escorted off the campus? So I have the story saying that this conservative group, they're pretty much saying that they claimed ignorance about they were going to an HBCU. So let me pull up this article real quick for you, bro. So this is from WKRN. This is the local news over in Nashville.
To Tennessee State University. The pair was eventually escorted off of campus by police as angry students gathered around. News 2's Kenley Hargett reports on the aftermath of that event.
I actually know Kenley.
You want to talk to people who disagree with you, you go to the place where people are likely to disagree with you.
Students visibly upset at a conservative group showing up to their university unannounced. The group is on a nationwide college tour to honor Charlie Kirk and to open dialogue on various political topics. Tuesday, they chose Tennessee State University, where they set up 2 controversial signs in front of their table, one saying DEI should be illegal, and the other, deport all illegals now. Let's talk. I sat down with 2 members of the group on why they chose to come to an HBCU.
We kind of just drive places, and then we end up in a city. We pick a city, and then we just go to that city, and then we kind of figure out what universities are there. We didn't know that TSU was an HBCU until the night before. He didn't know until they told him on campus.
The university has released a statement about the event, saying university policy requires any demonstration or protest activity requires advance approval and permitting. The group told me they reached out to TSU for approval, but could not reach them. They believe even if they had approval, they still would have been met with anger.
I don't know what would have been different about the situation. We probably would have been posted up in the exact same spot. The exact same people would have been on campus, and they would have had the exact same mindset.
The group plans to continue their tour of speaking at colleges and universities, but they still don't plan to announce where they will speak next due to safety concerns. TSU says they will continue to uphold university policies and ensure campus remains a safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of their community. Reporting in Nashville, Kenley Hargett, News 2.
That's crazy. I actually know who Kenley is. We used to work together.
That's wild, though.
Kenley and I used to work together in East Texas. So
the fact that we didn't hear about any of this prior to them going to Tennessee State is, of course, for me, that's iffy, but also I would not consume their content on a regular basis. So why would I see what their content is? Because they're saying to the uninitiated, this would seem like this was a very... I would have to know whether or not has this actually been a series for them? Or was this their first stop?
They are, in my opinion, trying to fill a void that Charlie Kirk left behind. And
they're not going to be able to do it like him.
No, they're not. So I find it interesting how I'm going to go ahead and say it. Right-wing white folks, the white people, they do not know how to read the damn room. You want to fill a void that Charlie Kirk left behind, right? And you think it is A-okay to go to an HBCU after HBCUs were targeted, they received threats, and it had nothing to do with them or what happened in Utah. So I think you can't just sit with ignorance with that. I would say showing up to an HBCU with a MAGA hat is an act of intimidation, just like it's equivalent to showing up to an HBCU with a Confederate flag. And so shout out to TSU officials for acting swiftly and making sure that that they did not stay.
I would recategorize / reframe it in a way that would say that it's not that they're trying to, that specific people are trying to fill a space. I think that there currently is a very much an understood drive to capitalize on the horrific events of what happened on that day. And that there are certain people that would be typically aligned with with who he was and what he would push. And I think a lot of them are now trying to take advantage of that because there is a certain level of want / desire to be a victim to a certain extent. Because when an oppressor is always framed and viewed and held accountable for being the oppressor, the second that they can have any type of tangential hook for them to be able to say, look, I'm a victim of a situation. Y'all should feel bad for me. Like they're going to utilize that to be able to capitalize in a way that still enriches them, because we live in a capitalistic society where there is no reason for you not to try to enrich yourself. Like either we live in a society that basically rewards selfish behavior. So we can't be mad when there are policies set in place and when there's people in power that are looking to only enrich themselves, because that's the society we live in. Like, these two young men knew good and well what they were doing, what was going to happen, what type of narrative and also exposure they would receive by doing this. This was not like a folly thing, like, oh, we didn't know. They knew exactly what. Tell me, if you and I, we know about HBCUs, we know what they are. Yeah. How many people have the average American? How many average Americans do you think know about Tennessee State University and that's the HBCU?
Unless you're from Nashville or unless you're a Tennessee resident, I don't expect you to know. Exactly. I didn't know that Jacksonville had HBCUs until I moved here.
Or unless you're black. And it's like, when of course we would be in the know, but they know good and well that, oh yeah, we could feign, ignorance with this, because it's not like you're going to Howard, it's not like you're going to Morehouse, it's not like you're going to Spelman, it's not like you're going to Clark Atlanta or FAU, the ones that are like predominant, that if you had to ask the random person off the street that's not black what an HBCU is, those would probably be the ones that they may understand or may know or be able to say.
They could have gone to Vanderbilt.
They know good and well what they were doing. Like, this was a very targeted effort.
Yeah,
and I would say without any background information of these young men, I bet they went to Tennessee State University based off of proximity. I bet if we looked into their background, they have proximity to Tennessee, and they more than likely, that's why they went there, because it makes no sense for them to target Tennessee State University in that capacity.
I think what that was, not only was that an act of intimidation, but dare I say it was damn near violent, in my opinion. And when I say violent, I don't mean attacking you physically. DEI should be illegal, and you go bring that conversation to an HBCU. So since you want to have that conversation that DEI should be illegal, then how about I, play this card right here? Then heck yeah, DEI should be illegal. White people should not be allowed to take a class at an HBCU that could have gone to a black student. You see how hurtful that sounds?
You're toting a fine line.
I do not care. I do not care. Know. But you see how hurtful that sounds?
What was that?
Nigga, I'm trying to keep my job. My bills gotta get paid. That's why I'm like, you told them a fine lie.
I have freedom of speech just as much as they do.
We don't.
And I'm using it.
It don't matter. We've seen it don't matter.
I'm using it. I'm using my freedom of speech just as much as they are. They want to have a conversation? Fine. Have one.
Rebuttal would be, this is what they want, though. They want us to talk about them, though.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care because at the end of the day, their privilege allots them the ability to do this. Regardless, they gonna be fine. Like, regardless, they gonna be fine. After this, they probably are about to go be more prominent and probably make more money off of it. Like, giving it attention is what they want. Like, that's all it was. It's reactionary stuff because we know that the grift is to get traction, to find something that you can get your claws synced into so that way you can receive consistent views, which drive ad revenue and things of that nature. It's all a grift. That's all it is. That's why it's like, that's what they want to do. But this is what they want, though. They want us talking about them because guess what? Now people are gonna be like, oh, who were them two young men? They're gonna go look them up. They're gonna get views. But trust me, they did not ward by what they did. They did not ward off potential sponsors and all that. They did it in a very calculated way. Like, these people are doing it for attention. I could even go to say that, yes, Tennessee State did good by getting them off of there, but they may have been better served just ignoring them and let them sit there and no one interact with them.
Nah, you need to get them off because they're causing a disturbance on that campus.
No. I'm not saying that they did not need to get them off the campus. I'm saying that no one should have been recorded. No one should have been recorded. They should have been like, all right, campus security, go handle them, get them off. Because by doing that, that's how they gain their traction. Because we have to not think about it through a lens of how we think things make sense. Because all their base is going to see is, oh, we're not allowed in their space. Now they're riled up. Now they feel enthralled. Now they feel like, oh, wow, you're trying to create separation. How dare you? This low-key could even be perceived as... There's so many things that happen. That's why I said that the passing of that young man that thing happened to him was that it did more of a disservice to those that are already oppressed than anything. And all this is a continuation of that. We have to I will never say act accordingly. We have to react accordingly because there's no way that we should allow them, because I'm telling you, this is one of the few things I won't consider a conspiracy theory. There is a purposeful attempt to create agitation between minorities so that way we do get to that tipping point. That is why we don't need to react. We need to be smart, be political, be tactful, be aware, but by no means do we need to be reacting.
I find that interesting because you're looking at it as a form of agitation that gets them to what they want. I'm looking at it as...
think about it. People need to think about it. It is not a drastic, it is not going to be a calling out. It is not about to be this very direct idea of agitation to the point to create division. It is going to be very small, minute detail. This is not... People have to you have to really look into a lot of the texts that that were put out there during the 60s up into the 70s, up and through the 70s and all that, where they were talking about the plans to uproot the idea of Black unity. Like, it's not going to be drastic, sweeping movements. It is not going to be like things that you can see. It's going to be small, little incremental things that sow those seeds of division, that sow those seeds of miscommunication, of miseducation that is going to affect us in the long run. And it's about keeping focus on the right things. Like, I hate to say it, them two young men, they should have just said, all right, campus PTO, get them off, leave them be. Putting them on camera is ammunition. this is nothing. They are stocking up ammunition to be able to say, we saw this, you saw this happen, this happened, this happened. See how y'all guys react? It does not mean that it has to be level, equal, or fair. It does not have to be. It's not going to be. And that's all it's going to take. I'm telling you that right now. That's all it's going to take.
I'm glad that you talked about it just a moment ago, because you were looking at it from a point of agitation, and I'm looking at it from a perspective of they're trying to play the long game. They're planting seeds. And I actually wrote this down. I said that these debates utilized nowadays isn't for change, rather than seek an opportunity to find a solution. They're using this to plant seeds and to plant seeds of doubt and gaslight us when the fruit of their opposition actually makes the impact of what they want. So I'm looking at it as a fact of they're trying to play this long game. They're trying to, let me stop by this HBCU, plant my seeds of doubt here, while you're at the same time, you're right, looking at it as I'm going to agitate the hell out of them. Yes, I know that I'm going to claim ignorance, and they weaponize ignorance as much as they can, and I can't stand that. They're not there to have a debate or have a conversation in good faith, and I need people who are in PWIs and HBCUs to just recognize the signs. They are not there to have a conversation. They're not there to have a one-on-one solution. Folks are too busy saying, "Oh, you're not trying to have a conversation." You came after me with that. With DEI should be illegal and deport all illegals. You're not trying to have a debate. You're trying to spew out your conspiracy theories. You're trying to spew out your racist and harmful rhetoric. You're entertaining white supremacy. You're entertaining Christian nationalism, and you're bringing it to these colleges and universities where they're trying to get an education. You are a distraction from these kids trying to get an education, and you're not helping. You are not trying to find a solution to a problem that you have, because you're using this as an opportunity to, again, sow seeds of doubt. So, students, when you see these debate bros, or when someone is so adamant about wanting to have a debate with you, they're not trying to have a debate with you in good faith. They're not trying to come up with a solution to a problem. They're not trying to make the change that you would like to see in this country. They're not trying to do that. No.
This is a grift. Like, this is to make
100%.
It's to make
grift.
money. It's to make money.
The entitlement to go to an HBCU as well. The entitlement blows my mind. Y'all don't know how to read the room. You think folks want to have a conversation with you after this young man got killed, and then after the murder, HBCUs were receiving threats, and you want to show up in a MAGA hat and hope to have a conversation? Screw you.
I mean,
you don't know how to read the room. You don't know how to read the room.
They don't want to read the room.
It's entitlement. It's entitlement.
To read the room requires a level of self-reflection and awareness, but that's why I try not to hone it down to just a single group, because there is nuance between it, and to be able to have a conversation. But also, I don't read the comments. I don't care. What you want to talk about? All right, whatever. Do y'all thing. Talk about who y'all want to talk about. Whatever. But we are at a point to where I feel like we need to work more on figuring out what's the real focus. Like, what are we really upset about? What are we really needing to focus on as far as a short-term goal and a long-term goal? And right now, I think that the opposition takes very much pride in the fact that there is dissension and division within our culture, which I think is very much reflected in currently our current view of rap and things of that nature, and how it's split into sides right now. I think this is the most divided, just to be a pivot, to be like a social comparison. I think this is the most divided rap has been in a while. like quite some time, like from the early 2010s when they tried to do that when everyone was so against mumble rap. So there was that wave of rappers that were coming in trying to be like, oh, I don't mumble, I speak about real lyrical stuff. But it's like, you still
lyrical
suck,
miracle.
Yeah, but it's
lyrical,
like, you still
miracle,
suck,
spiritual.
but, you know, whatever. And that's why I've always felt like rap kind of needs to be gatekept to a certain extent, because I don't feel that it's gotten to the point to where it's cemented enough in society to where we don't have to go in and make people understand parts of it that they wouldn't readily understand. Like, there's certain parts of American society that we don't have to question. We don't have to guess. We don't have to really be like, oh, well, why are they doing that? Or we don't have any misgivings about why it's done or what happens. But when it comes to rap and stuff like that, I think like when it comes to the portrayal of certain things and the storytellings, when people hear about it, they're thinking, oh, rap is pushing drugs and such and such. It's like, no, you don't understand that this is a form of storytelling, and also it's a part of that person's livelihood and what they experience, and this is what they're expressing. But that gets misconstrued as this is what's being pushed to their youth and pushed to their audience. Like, that's why I say to a certain extent it has to be gatekept, because it's not understood in the greater society enough and well enough to just be allowed for anyone to be able to have a space within it. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. The house of hip hop is delicate, and it should be treated as such.
I would say it's delicate, and it's not appreciated by the outside. It's not appreciated by those that were not entrenched or born into it enough for it to be just easily accessible as it is in a sense.
How do I say this? It needs to be gatekept, and at the same time, there needs to be space for us to check ourselves as well. The biggest example, and what I'm trying to say is that, you know, sometimes we even have bad actors in the house of hip hop. Not so long ago, Young Thug came out with this trash ass song on his latest album. That was crazy, and I
can't stand this new album. Like, this kind of speaks to exactly what I'm talking about. It's, for one, to do this in the current political climate that we're in, the current societal climate we are in, to have that cover the way that he has it, and then to have songs on there and the way that he's talking and things.
First song off the album.
The fact that he chose to do that in this political climate shows, for one, that's why you didn't get that verse from Kendrick. Two, like, brother, there is a part of our culture that is so removed from understanding that their actions affect the overall view and perception of others besides yourself.
A rising tide lifts all boats.
Like, your self-grandizing is, to what extent can you make all these millions to the point that you don't care how it affects those that look like you? Like, it's sad. You can that's you and I talked about it. I was like, in this climate, and especially knowing the fact that it doesn't help that today we saw that he went on Aiden Ross, who I think is problematic as can be. He chose to go on that platform to explain his song, his album cover, and stuff like that. We already know so many. Go look it up. He went on.
I'm looking
Aiden
it up
Ross.
right now. Please continue, though.
The fact that he did that, I told you, that song and also that album cover is going to be weaponized against black people. Like, he's just giving them ammo, and it's to do nothing but to get clicks, to get traction, and to do all that. And it's to do nothing but to enrich himself, while at the behest of knowing that his people, his culture, his society are going to take a hit because of his actions. Doesn't care, though. He has to fix his career, though. And then oh, this is me really not liking that man. The fact that he went on Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder and them show on the Pivot or Revolt or whatever, and had the audacity to be like, I feel like less of a man if my girl go to therapy. Bro, when I heard that, I was like, there's no way Mariah does not leave that man now. Like, you are tanking your career if you choose to stay with this man. Like, for one, that is the most, he has to, there's no way he is unaware that he needs help. Like, that is not the words of a man that is healed. That is not the words of a man that understands and views you as a person and not as an object that he wants to control. That makes no sense.
See, I was looking at it as a moment when he said, I feel less of a man that my, if my girl goes to a therapist, I'm like, hello, there we go. It starts with admitting something, and I think when folks were saying, he's on the wrong path. I'm like, this could be the opportunity for him to get on the path that he needs to be on. And it starts with admitting that you have that problem. It starts. He's going to do it. It starts with that. It starts.
Does it? Because for it to start,
he's already hit rock bottom. And one thing
I know what rock bottom looks like. He does not feel that he has hit rock bottom yet. Because you think about it, the man that he was beefing with, that they were talking about killing each other, the man is 34. He's older than us. He has not. Mariah is 27. That is wild. He is 7 years older than his girlfriend. That is crazy. But no, that man, as someone that has hit rock bottom. No, he is not. Because he is still around people that are enriching him. He is still around people that are making him feel good. Like, if you go look at his album reactions, people are still reacting good to him. There's still people in his comments hyping him up. It's still official accounts and celebrities and all that still hyping him up. Like, look at who was on his album.
Maybe I'm looking at it from a hopeful perspective, because sometimes just saying out loud the problem that you're having is the step that you can take.
No, it's not, because when you have millions of dollars, it doesn't matter. Because guess what? At that point, he just has to say the right things, and guess what? He's gonna make more money.
Well, he technically he's not in prison, but he's on probation for 15 years. That man is in prison. Let's be real. And your rock bottom is not his rock bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying his rock bottom is not going to change him. His rock bottom is going to be like, all right, let me move different for a little bit and change how my public perception is. And that way I can start rewarding myself through keeping up my lifestyle. Because to a certain extent, people have to remember, addiction is not just, chemically based. It can be through other means. A lot of these people get addicted to their lifestyle. There's no way, especially now that he's out of prison for something he thought he was going to be in jail for the rest of his life, that he's not going to do whatever it takes to keep his lifestyle up. That man, majority of these celebrities and rappers are more than likely not addicted to any of the drugs. They're addicted to the lifestyle. That's what keeps them going. Like, the fact that the reason why I think that is because he went back to trying to make sure that we viewed him the same way that we viewed him when he went in. He did not want to be perceived as changed. He does not want you to think that he's changed. He wants you to think that he's still the same old thug, the same old one that's going to hold it down. And he wants you to still be hyping up his music and all that, which they still are. Like, I'm pretty sure, I haven't listened to the album. It has some bops on it from what I can hear. Like, okay, good for you. There's nothing that's happened or occurred in his life that's going to make him change.
I guess time will tell.
Think about it. Like, put it like this. If your favorite artist did something bad, but did not see any dip in sales, didn't see any hurt in his money, nothing changes, why would they change then?
I mean, we're saying this from the outside looking in, correct?
Yeah, because to a certain extent, public perception is its own game. It really is. So it's like, do I really need to change internally, or do I need to just change how y'all view me?
It depends on the artist.
Exactly, but at the same time, it's how they view themselves. If you're genuinely a good person, but the world views you as a bad person, you can sit there and be like, well, I know I'm a good person at heart. I don't care.
Yeah.
But also, you could, but flip it on the reverse. If you're a bad person at heart, but they view you as a good person, you're going to do everything you can to keep that image up. I'd rather YB be it than him at this point, because at least I know YB is authentic. That man is who he is through and through.
And who do the young people look to as their leader? NBA Youngboy.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. There's a few songs of NBA Youngboy that get me hyped on a daily basis. 30 days straight.
Okay. Get your black Air Forces on.
Low key, I have yet to buy a pair of Black Forces, but I do want the black Supreme Air Force Ones. And then shout out to Club 520 and B Hen. Put the white laces on them joints. Oh, I can't wait. Actually, you got me wanting to look. How much are these black Supreme Air Force Ones right now? That is wild.
So that concludes episode 13 of the Porchlight Theory. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us. We really appreciate it. Before we end things, I want to give a quick shout out to the ladies of the Yap Me Baby podcast. Hello, ladies.
Yap Me Baby.
If you enjoy the Porchlight Theory, then you can most definitely enjoy Kanisha and Leandra talking about the quiet things out loud. Give them a listen and tell them that the Porchlight Theory sent you. That concludes episode 13 of the Porchlight Theory. We'll have episode 14 on the way. We'll talk to you later. Peace out.
Have a good night.